Hello everyone, my name is Girish and in this video we will be exploring two services provided by Google Cloud. The services are Cloud Run and Artifact Registry. What is Cloud Run? Cloud Run provides fully managed compute to run containers. There is no infrastructure for you to manage. It automatically scales the containers up and down from 0 to the maximum allowed. Only pay when the code is running. Write the code in any language like Go, Python, Node.js, Java, TypeScript, etc. Basically, you create a Docker image, push it to Artifact Registry, and create a Cloud Run service. We will see it in a demo. The Cloud Run service is pointed to the Docker image that you upload, and it pulls it whenever the service is running or it needs to create the more instances of the service. It supports the use cases like event-driven processing. For example, you upload a file in Google Bucket, and then based on that event, you actually trigger the Cloud Run job to process the data. Or you have some batch jobs. So you can have long-running jobs to process the data. Or you can have a front-end website, which is what we will be creating in this demo. What is Artifact Registry? So Artifact Registry is a single place to organize container images and the language packages like npm, maven, etc. It's secure and consistent. It's tied with Google's IAM authentication, so you can always control who to give access to, etc. It's integrated with other Google Cloud services. As I said, if you want to trigger the Cloud Run based on a file upload somewhere or based on an event or a request coming to a load balancer, you can do that. There's vulnerability scanning. Now, whenever you upload a Docker image, it scans your Docker image. It's optional, but it's advisable to keep it on, and it scans the Docker images for potential vulnerability, and it's also high performance and availability. It's a service provided by Google, and you can always expect high performance and availability. So in this tutorial, what will we be doing? We will actually create an artifact registry. We'll create a very simple Python program using a Streamlit. It could be anything as long as we can create a Docker image out of it. So I'll just use a pre-built Python program with a Streamlit just to show a demo. Create the requirements text for all the dependencies. Create a Docker file to build a Docker image. We'll test the Docker image locally. It's always a good idea to test it locally before pushing it to the cloud. Authenticate with Google Cloud, tag the Docker image, pushing the Docker image to the Artifact Registry. Then we'll create a Cloud Run service using the pushed image. And finally, we will access the application from the browser to show that our service is running. Again, my name is Girish, and I've been a cloud consultant for several years. And if you have a project that is coming up or you need some help at some certain point, please reach out to me, and my email is girish@jajusoft.com. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It would help me and stay motivated to create more videos like this. So let's start with our demo. So here we are, and I have in my Google Cloud, I'm in a particular project called RagDev, and what we will be doing first is creating a artifact registry. So I'll go here, artifact registry. As you can see, I don't have any artifact registry at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an artifact registry, and let's create a registry or repository, sorry. It's of type Docker, and what we're going to do, let's name it something. We'll call it, let's say, YouTube Cloud Run demo. Docker is fine, mode is standard, region is, I'm going to select US Central one. And I will keep it simple for the encryption part. We'll just use Google Managed Encryption, and we will also delete the artifact when we are done so that we don't incur any costs. So let's create this. So our YouTube Cloud Run demo repository is created. Now if you go here, there are some instructions on how to authenticate into this and push it. So we will use that. Let's keep it open. We will use that when we create our application and the Docker image. So for, as I said, for the image or the application, I'm actually going to copy an application that is built by Streamlit, and they actually pull some Uber data and try to show some diagrams, which is pretty neat. So what I'm going to do, instead of creating something from scratch, I'm going to copy this code to create the application. So let's see. So I'm here in my Cloud Run, and I think I don't have anything. So let's start creating some files here. So first thing is app.py. This is where I'm going to copy everything from all the code that we just copied from the website. Let me just increase the font a little bit. Okay. Now let's create a requirements file because we need some of the libraries. So I'm going to create requirements, and we need Streamlit, pandas, and NumPy. I think that's enough for this. And what we're going to do, we also create a Docker file because we'll be creating a Docker image. So Docker file, and in the Docker file we have certain steps which will be so we will create this Docker file from a base image of, let's say, Python 3.11, and Cloud Run by default exposes a port 8080, even though Streamlit exposes a port 8501, but we will expose that 8080 and see how we can configure that. And let's change the work directory to the /app, and we'll copy everything from here to the current working directory in the Docker, and then run pip install -r requirements.txt. And now this is the important part, entry point. So our executable is Streamlit, and what command do we run? We run, and what is the Python file we run? app.py. Now if you have a default port, which is where you're running your application, then you don't have to specify server port. But since we are running on port 8080, whereas Streamlit exposes or runs by default on 8501, so we will have to specify server port. So we'll say server.port 8080, and we'll just bind it to any address, for example, localhost or 127.0.0.1, etc. So we can just say server.address equals to 0.0.0.0. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the Docker image now. So let's see here. We say Docker build -t, and let's just call it Cloud Run demo, or let's say YouTube Cloud Run demo, for example. And I have most of these dependencies downloaded, so it will be pretty fast for you. It might take some time if you don't have some of the, for example, the image or some of the dependency downloaded. So let it run. Installing. So while it's installing, I'm going to pause the video, and once it's finished installing, I'll come back. Okay, it took a few seconds, but now my installation is done and my image should be available. Docker images, and if I just grab on cloud, or let's say YouTube cloud, for example, I should see that my image is available right here. Okay, so next thing is, as I said, before uploading it to Artifact Registry and creating a Cloud Run service, let's just try to test it locally and see if it works for us. So I'm just going to Docker run, and since I have 8080 exposed, so I'm going to do the port mapping here, and then we'll just say YouTube cloud run demo. Cloud run demo, and let's run it. So as you can see, this is running. Now let's go to this URL and see if we can access the application. So I'm just going to do localhost 8080 and see what happens. Perfect. So basically this is my application, which actually pulls the data from an S3 bucket and then show the 10,000 rows or so from the data, and then it shows the pickup by the hour on a particular, I'm not sure about the data, but idea is to show that application in a Streamlit, and then we'll expose this to the world using Cloud Run. And you can do some other things. That's why I wanted to use an pre-built application and not just write a hello world program. Okay, so our application looks good locally, so let's push it to the Google Cloud. So let's go to images, and as we saw, we have to first authenticate against this. So we'll just copy and run it right here. So it says that my default Python interpreter is not working, so I have to set this particular environment variable to the correct Python interpreter that I'm using. So let's see which Python 3. So I'm using one from the, which Python? I'm using the one from Anaconda, so I'm going to point it here. Let's say export cloud SDK Python equals to this. Let's try it again. Okay, so now I'm able to successfully authenticate myself. Okay, so next step is to tag the image, and the way we tag the image is before pushing and pulling. So if you see this documentation here, you will be able to find some of those commands. So I have already copied this command and changed it based on my repository and my tag. So let's just do this. So my tag is this, and then YouTube cloud run demo. Let's see what's my Artifact repository, YouTube cloud run demo. Okay, so let's do this. Sorry. So what I'm doing is my local Docker image, I'm tagging it to the latest on the Artifact Registry. So let's say YouTube. It doesn't have to be YouTube Cloud Run Demo. It could be any name, but let's just keep it this way. So basically, this is my project, and this is my Artifact repository, and this is the tag that I'm creating. Okay, so tag is created. Now I have to push this tag. So make sure you push the same tag. So Docker push. So we'll copy it from here, from here, US Central, and go all the way till here. No, sorry, till here. So I'm going to push this, and the push has started, and this will take some time as this is pretty big file. So I'm going to pause the video and come back when the push is done. Okay, it took about 4 minutes, but my image is finally pushed, so we can go and check this in the Artifact Registry. So I'm here in the Artifact Registry. This is my repo. Let's go in, and you can see that my YouTube Cloud Run Demo image is pushed. Okay, so let's go to Cloud Run and then use this image to create a Cloud Run service. So as you can see, I have no services running right now, so I'm going to create a service, and we will use a container image. And as you can see, this is a serverless service, and the free tier is pretty generous. As you can see, like 2 million requests per month, 180 VCU seconds per month, which is, for a small application, is more than enough. But depending upon your need, you may pass the free tier. So as you can see here, we have our repository showing up here, and what we are going to do, we will get the latest image from here. Let's just name it YouTube Cloud Run Demo, and then what we are going to do, we say allow unauthenticated invocation, because since we are releasing it to a public or on a public website, so let's just use that. Now there are two ways you can choose a CPU. One way is to always running it, so you'll be charged for the CPU. One is only allocate CPU when it's doing some request processing. So a few requests will see some latencies, but I'm going to choose this anyways, and we'll keep the minimum number of instances to 0. And what we'll do is we will see that as soon as a request comes, it's actually Cloud Run creates an instance and serves the traffic, and leave the other as default. So I'm going to create this. And let's wait for it to complete the creation process. It may take a few seconds, so I'm going to pause the video again and come back when it's ready. It was pretty fast. It took a little bit under a minute, but now as you can see, the service is ready, and I've been given a URL to access this particular application. So let's copy this to clipboard and go to the URL. And as you can see, the application is running, is trying to load the data from the S3 bucket and then showing us the beautiful graphs and maps pertaining to the data. You can show the raw data again. And this is how you can create a Cloud Run application running from a Docker image and accepting the user requests from here, from the browser. If you go back to some of the metrics, we can do check that it has done some, we have some data here. Let's see, it may take some time for requests to show up here because there is some latency, but let's do it a couple of times and see what happens. Okay, so let's go to metrics, and our data should show up at some point. Okay, so you can see there's some logs here, so metrics should also be showing up shortly. Let's see. Okay, it took some time for this to show, but as we can see here, our requests and some of the relevant data or relevant metrics are showing in this. So that was the demo. We created a Docker image, pushed it to Artifact Registry, created a Cloud Run service using that Docker image, and we got a URL. We can also put this Cloud Run behind load balancer so that it can create multiple instances which can serve the traffic. So let's just clean up so that we don't get charged. So first thing is I'm going to delete my Cloud Run service. So select the service and delete. Once this while it's deleting, let's just delete the Artifact Registry as well. We'll select this and delete the Artifact repository. So I will be checking this code in my GitHub repo, so and providing you with a link in the description. So once again, thank you for watching. My name is Girish, and Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me and stay motivated to create more videos like this. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Thank you.